Yo guys, Codelife here. So in this video today guys, I'm going to show you all the very best updated game user settings in Fortnite Chapter 3 that will help boost your FPS and give you the lowest amount of input delay. Guys, if this video does help you out, then feel free to let me know by dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel. I know a lot of you that watch me aren't subscribed. And then also, if you want to help me out with that extra mile, please use Codelife in the Fortnite item shop on any of these awesome skins that are in there right now. Now though, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Alright guys, so first things first, to even access the Fortnite config file or the game user settings file, what you want to do is you want to go to your desktop right here and press the following keys at the same time. That's Windows key plus the letter R, and then a run box like this should appear. In here you want to type in the following command, that's %, local, app, data, and then % again, just like that. Press OK. Once you've done that, your local file should appear right here. You want to find the Fortnite game file by just pressing F. It should pop up right here. It just says Fortnite game. Open up Fortnite game, open up saved, open up config, and then open up Windows client, and in here you'll see your config file called GameUserSettings.ini. Now before we go ahead and click edit, which we will do in a second, I want you all to go into properties and make sure that the read only box is unchecked, because what this does is it basically locks this file so no changes sort of can be saved within it. So we're going to go ahead and uncheck read only. We will check this again once we've finished making the changes, but for now, to actually make the changes we need to uncheck it. So once you've done that, press apply, press OK, and now we are free to edit it. Just right click on it, press edit, and boom, here we are in the config in itself to make some awesome changes. Alright, so the first thing to change is the be show grass option. You want to change this from the default option true to be on false instead. The reason for why we're doing this is it basically disables the grass from showing, which increases FPS. As you can see, this is what it looks like without any grass, and this does increase your FPS big time, as you can see right here. Obviously you can imagine how. Next up, we've got display gamma. You want to change this from the default option 2.2 to be around 2.5 instead. I myself, guys, I recommend slightly increasing the gamma, as what this does is it increases the brightness a little bit. And if you didn't know already, the default 2.2 in Fortnite, it's really dark, so increasing the gamma / brightness in Fortnite Chapter 3 right now is the best option, as I think it looks the best. But feel free, guys, to mess around with this value for yourselves. I recommend going between 2.5 to like 2.7. I think that is a good amount of brightness. Next up, we've got B disable mouse acceleration. You want to go ahead and change this from the default value true to be on false. And the reason we want to do this, guys, is because this will disable mouse acceleration inside of Fortnite. Now some say it doesn't work, but just to be on the safe side, guys, I highly recommend doing this, because if you didn't know already, mouse acceleration adjusts your cursor based on the speed you move your mouse, which means the faster you move your mouse, the more your cursor will move. So it's pretty much artificially speeding up your mouse, which you don't want, as that affects aim big time. So just to be safe, I know some people think it doesn't work, and it might not, but I always like to just make sure it's disabled to be on the safe side. Oh, as well as that, guys, it's really important that you disable the enhanced pointer precision inside of your Windows settings, as it's also a form of mouse acceleration. In order to disable this, you've just got to go on your desktop like this, go into the Windows mouse settings right here. If you just type in mouse settings, click on that, and then once you're in this tab right here, you want to select additional mouse options, click on the pointer options tab, and then you want to uncheck the box next to enhanced pointer precision, and that will turn it off. Moving on, we've got the resolution tabs right here. As you can see, I'm currently using the native resolution, that's 1920 by 1080, and that's because it's really popular right now. But I know some people out there are choosing to use stretched resolution. It's starting to make a big return, because it does obviously boost your FPS massively, and it does also make the player models really big too, which does improve aim. I talked about it all in this video on screen. Most pros though have been rocking the stretched resolutions 1656 by 1080, but saying that, pros like Martos have also tried going really stretched, so going way far down and using stretched resolutions like 1400 by 1050. And if you guys want to try out that stretched resolution for yourselves, I recommend checking out this video on screen. I'll leave a link in the description below. Next up, we've got frame rate limit, and for this, guys, I highly recommend capping your FPS just to have the most stable FPS you can, especially going into late game of Fortnite. The general rule of thumb is to match your FPS with your monitor's refresh rate. So if you've got a 144Hz monitor, cap it to 144 FPS. Same with a 240Hz monitor, cap it to 240Hz, and then with a 360Hz monitor, cap it it to 360 FPS. But I know for a lot of you guys out there, you have a G-Sync monitor and you use the G-Sync feature or the equivalent on AMD. And for this, guys, to reduce any sort of screen tearing going on, you want to make sure that you cap your FPS at these values on screen. For a 144Hz monitor, you want to make sure that that is on 141 FPS. 240Hz, you want to go 237 FPS. And for 360Hz, you want to go 357 FPS. Again, this is only if you are on a G-Sync monitor. It's best to go a couple or maybe a few frames below, just so you don't get any sort of screen tearing going on. Next up, we've got scalability groups, and under where it says SG.res quality, this must be on 100%. And the reason for why this is, guys, is to prevent any sort of pixelation or blurriness in game that could occur for some of you out there. For some reason in Chapter 3, a few players out there have been getting this pixelation issue. I did a video all about it on screen right here, but after setting the value in itself to 100 or 100%, it'll go back to being fully HD, and that's definitely what you guys want to make sure is set on in your config in itself. For the rest of these options, I highly recommend turning them all to 0 except the view distance one and the textures one. For the view distance one, you can go as far as you want with this one. Obviously, you'll see enemies at a lot longer range, but you will get slightly less FPS, so that's completely up to you. And for the textures one, I highly recommend setting this one to medium, or rather to the value number 2, as that's supposed to give you a slight FPS boost compared to the low option. And by putting textures to medium, this will make your GPU work a little bit harder and will give your sort of CPU a bit more rest, so overall your PC will perform a lot better using textures on medium. Next up, we've got performance mode, and a few of you may be thinking, can't I just change this in the in-game settings? And yes, you can, but we also can change it in the game user settings config. All you have to do is change that D3D option to false, and that'll put the performance mode on. And then underneath it, this is where you actually change the meshes, so you can either go high meshes or low meshes. I myself, guys, I did a video comparing the two on screen right here, so I'd highly recommend watching that, link below. But for this option, guys, you can change it to whatever you want. You can have high meshes or you can have low. It's completely up to you, whichever you prefer. And yeah, guys, that right there is the best game user settings in Fortnite Chapter 3. Now let's go ahead and save them. To save them, all you want to do is go File, then Save, and then close down the text editor. After doing that, you want to make sure that the read-only option is on, so you want to go ahead and right-click on the config file, click on Properties, and then make sure read-only is on. This will prevent Fortnite from automatically resetting our custom config that we've just obviously configured. So once you've done that, guys, you're all good to go. Close down all this, open up Fortnite, and let me know if it's helped out in the comment section below. If it has, guys, feel free to drop a like on the video, drop a subscription on the channel, and use Codelife in the Fortnite item shop to help me out massively. I'd really appreciate it. I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.